Right now, as you're watching this video, something is happening that NASA doesn't want you to fully understand. An object the size of Manhattan is racing through our solar system, and it's not from here. It's called 3I/ATLAS, and it's the third confirmed interstellar visitor to our solar system. But here's what they're not telling you. This object is behaving in ways that defy everything we know about comets. It's emitting its own light. It's far more massive than it should be. And according to Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, it might not be a natural object at all. What if I told you that 3I/ATLAS could be an alien mothership sent here as a reconnaissance mission? What if I told you that its arrival coincides with biblical prophecies about signs in the heavens? What if I told you that NASA is desperately trying to observe it before it disappears forever, because they know something they're not sharing with the public? This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, in October 2025, and the evidence suggests that 3I/ATLAS might be the most significant event in human history if we're brave enough to face the truth. But first, you need to understand why this object is so different from anything we've ever seen before. If you're ready to uncover the truth about what's really happening in our solar system right now, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden revelations, and ring the notification bell because this story is developing in real time. 3I/ATLAS was discovered on July 1st, 2025 by the ATLAS survey telescope. From the moment astronomers first spotted it, they knew something was wrong. This wasn't behaving like any comet they'd ever seen. First, it's massive, far more massive than its size should allow. We're talking about an object that weighs over 33 billion tons, but appears to be only about 2 miles across. That's a density that shouldn't be possible for a natural comet, which are typically made of ice and loose rock. Second, it's emitting its own light, not reflecting sunlight like normal objects, but actually glowing from within. NASA claims this is just outgassing from a comet, but the pattern doesn't match any known comet behavior. Third, its trajectory is all wrong. While it's following a hyperbolic orbit that proves it came from outside our solar system, the way it's moving suggests it might be under some form of control or propulsion. But here's the most disturbing part. NASA and other space agencies are scrambling to observe it with every available spacecraft and telescope, as if they're desperate to gather data before it's gone forever. Why the urgency? What are they really looking for? And why won't they share their findings with the public? Dr. Avi Loeb isn't just any scientist. He's the former chair of Harvard's astronomy department, one of the most respected astrophysicists in the world. And he's saying something that's making the scientific establishment very uncomfortable. According to Dr. Loeb, 3I/ATLAS exhibits characteristics that are more consistent with artificial technology than with a natural comet. He points to its unusual mass, its light emission, and its perfectly controlled trajectory as evidence that this might be an alien probe. But here's what's really shocking. Dr. Loeb isn't alone. A growing number of scientists are quietly admitting that 3I/ATLAS doesn't fit any natural explanation. Yet the mainstream scientific community is desperately trying to silence these voices. Why? Because if 3I/ATLAS is artificial, it changes everything. It means we're not alone. It means an advanced civilization has sent a probe to study our solar system. And it means that everything we've been told about our place in the universe is a lie. Dr. Loeb has faced ridicule and career threats for suggesting that previous interstellar objects like Oumuamua might be alien technology, but he's not backing down. In fact, he's doubling down on his claims about 3I/ATLAS. But there's another theory that's even more disturbing, one that connects this object to ancient prophecies. Here's something NASA definitely doesn't want you to know. The arrival of 3I/ATLAS coincides perfectly with biblical prophecies about signs in the heavens that will herald the end time. Luke 21:25 says, "And there will be signs in sun and moon and stars, and on the earth distress of nations in perplexity, because of the roaring of the sea and the wave." Revelation 8:10-11 describes a great star falling from heaven. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. Think about this. 3I/ATLAS is literally a star-like object that came from outside our solar system, blazing with its own light. It's passing through our solar system right now, in October 2025, at a time when the world is experiencing unprecedented chaos and upheaval. But here's the most chilling part. The name Atlas itself has biblical significance. In Greek mythology, Atlas was the titan who held up the heaven. In biblical symbolism, this represents the cosmic order that will be shaken in the last days. Is it a coincidence that an object named after the being who holds up the heavens is visiting us during a time of global upheaval? Or is this exactly what the ancient prophets warned us to watch for? But the conspiracy goes even deeper than biblical prophecy. Let's consider the possibility that Dr. Loeb is right, and 3I/ATLAS is actually an alien spacecraft. If that's true, then we need to ask, what is its mission? The evidence suggests this isn't just a random visit. 3I/ATLAS is following a trajectory that will give it perfect observation angles of Earth, Mars, and the inner solar system. It's moving slowly enough to conduct detailed scans, but fast enough to avoid being intercepted. This is exactly what you'd expect from a reconnaissance mission. Think about it. If you were an advanced alien civilization, how would you study a potentially hostile species like human? You'd send an unmanned probe, disguised as a natural object, to gather intelligence without being detected. The fact 3I/ATLAS is emitting its own light could be evidence of active scanning systems. The unusual mass could be explained by advanced technology and dense materials unknown to human science. And here's the terrifying possibility. 3I/ATLAS might not be alone. It could be the advanced scout for a much larger fleet. The data it's gathering could be used to plan a future contact event, or something worse. But there's another theory that's even more disturbing. What if 3I/ATLAS isn't the main event, but a warning of what's coming? What if it's the biblical sign in the heavens that precedes the arrival of wormwood itself? Revelation describes wormwood as a great star that falls from heaven and poisons a third of the earth's waters. Many biblical scholars believe this describes an asteroid or comet impact that will occur during the end times. But what if wormwood isn't a natural object either? What if it's also alien technology? Not a reconnaissance probe like 3I/ATLAS, but a weapon. Think about the sequence. First comes the sign in the heavens, 3I/ATLAS. Then comes the great star that brings destruction, wormwood. The Bible is clear that these events will happen in order, as part of God's judgment on the earth. This would explain why governments are so desperate to study 3I/ATLAS. They're not just trying to understand what it is, they're trying to prepare for what's coming next. And here's the most chilling possibility. What if the aliens behind 3I/ATLAS are actually the instruments of biblical prophecy? What if they're the means by which God will execute his judgment on the earth? This would mean that the end times aren't just spiritual events, but physical ones, involving advanced technology that appears supernatural to us. The evidence for a cover-up is mounting. NASA's unusual secrecy, the desperate rush to observe 3I/ATLAS, the mainstream media's reluctance to cover the story properly. It all points to a coordinated effort to hide the truth. But the truth is starting to leak out. Independent astronomers are making their own observation. Whistleblowers are beginning to speak up, and the scientific data is becoming impossible to ignore. Dr. Loeb's theory about alien technology is gaining support from other respected scientists who are brave enough to speak publicly. The biblical connections are being discussed in religious communities worldwide, and the general public is starting to ask uncomfortable questions. The establishment is fighting back, of course. They're trying to discredit Dr. Loeb, dismiss the biblical connections as coincidence, and convince everyone that 3I/ATLAS is just an ordinary comet. But the evidence doesn't support their narrative. The mass is wrong, the light emission is wrong, the timing is too perfect, and the government response is too coordinated to be natural. Something is happening that they don't want us to understand. Something that could change everything we think we know about our place in the universe and our future as a species. The question is, Are you ready to face the truth, even if it's more terrifying than anything you've ever imagined? Here's what I believe is really happening. 3I/ATLAS is the beginning of the end of the age of human ignorance about our place in the cosmos. Whether it's alien technology, a biblical sign, or both, this object represents a turning point in human history. We're being forced to confront the reality that we're not alone, that there are forces at work in the universe far beyond our understanding or control. The governments of the world know this, the scientific establishment knows this, the religious leaders know this, but they're all terrified of what will happen when the general public realizes the truth. Because once you understand that 3I/ATLAS is not what they claim it is, you start to question everything else they've told you. You start to wonder what other natural phenomena might actually be something else entirely. You start to realize that we're living in the most significant moment in human history, and most people don't even know it's happened. But you know, and now you have a choice. You can go back to sleep and pretend everything is normal, or you can stay awake and prepare for what's coming next. Because 3I/ATLAS is just the beginning. The real question isn't what it is. The real question is what it's preparing us for. 3I/ATLAS will make its closest approach to the Sun on October 30th, 2025, and then it will disappear forever into the depths of space. But the questions it raises will remain. Is it an alien mothership conducting reconnaissance on humanity? Is it a biblical sign heralding the end times? Is it both? Or is it something even more extraordinary that we haven't even considered? The truth is out there, racing through our solar system right now. NASA is desperately trying to study it before it's gone. Governments are preparing for something they won't tell us about, and biblical prophecy is unfolding before our eyes. If this revelation about 3I/ATLAS opened your eyes to what's really happening in our solar system, I want you to do 3 things. First, smash that like button to help us expose the truth to more people. Second, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because this story is developing in real time, and you don't want to miss the next revelation. Third, share this video with everyone you know, because humanity deserves to know the truth about what's coming. The cover-up is real, the evidence is mounting, and time is running out. 3I/ATLAS is more than just an interstellar visitor. It's a wake-up call for humanity. The question is, will we answer it, or will we sleep through the most important moment in our species' history? The choice is yours, but choose quickly, because 3I/ATLAS won't wait for us to make up our minds. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, the truth is always stranger than the fiction they want you to believe. What do you think 3I/ATLAS really is? Let me know in the comments below, and let's uncover the truth together.